Scaggs is an American singer, songwriter, and guitarist from Texas. He has played and sung in a variety of styles, from blues rock to soft rock to blue-eyed soul. His career has spanned from 1963, and he's still going, but with several breaks. He is best known for the hit Lido Shuffle. He was briefly a member of the Steve Miller Band. He was instrumental in forming the band Toto. They were the band that he used for one of his albums called Silk Degrees, and he has released 19 solo albums so far. Hi, my name's Dan, and this is a review of Silk Degrees by Scaggs. It was released in 1976 and was his seventh studio album. It was his most successful album, and it was the album that spawned the band Toto. And this is my first time listening to this album. So it's over 2 years since I reviewed a Scaggs album. I wasn't too taken with it. I think that was the album called Scaggs. For him, this was 7 years later, so our timelines are different. Something has clicked here, I think, for him since the first album. I was much more taken with this album. It's singer-songwriter. He might be described as yacht rock, which is a genre name that I've only picked up from doing these reviews. Kind of adult rock. It has more than a passing resemblance in my mind to both Steely Dan and Elton John. Particularly feel like there's a very kind of strong Elton John thing going on here. Partly because there's quite a lot of piano going on. Musically, it's strong. I guess this is why this band peeled off, is because they were doing well together, and they Toto obviously were hugely successful. I would say more successful than Scaggs in his own right. Quite varied in style, actually. So I'm going to pull some out here. The rock of Jump Street, the country of What Do You Want the Girl to Do, the funk of Low Down, the fake reggae or faux reggae of Love Me Tomorrow, and then to various shades of 70s pop rock, sometimes with accompanying strings, which feels like, I know music doesn't necessarily change as fast as I think it does. It feels like in about 3-4 years earlier than this would have been the kind of peak time for some of these kind of feels. And then that includes Lido Shuffle or Lido Shuffle, I think it's Lido, which is his best known song, certainly in the UK. I always want to call it Lido Shuffle because a Lido is obviously a thing, but I think this is the name of a person, which is Lido, and he uses that pronunciation in the song. It's decent musically, is mostly kind of feel good with some attempts at something with a bit more kind of pathos and melancholy, sadness, that kind of thing behind it. The songs are actually pretty good too, I would say. A good spread of ideas, some story songs. Most of them are kind of slice of life stuff. It's fairly rose tinted in its look of the world. His voice is okay. I mean, it's strong enough, but it's not distinctive. Again, I kept hearing shades of Elton John, and I could hear most of these songs would suit Elton in the same period, I would say. One small, I'm not sure if it's criticism, but comment on his voice. When he gets to the high notes, it sounds a bit like he's got it's a kind of forced falsetto sound that he uses up there. So overall, I enjoyed this. It was a nice album of pop rock, and I would have no problem listening to it again. I don't necessarily say that I've memorized all these songs. I only have 2 listens for a review, but it's good. Yeah, so it's getting a decent score. That's what I think. I'd love to know what you think of this album. I know this is a very well-known album. It's and I'd say not an album I've listened to before. I think it had more of a penetration in the US than it did in the UK. But so maybe you know it, and I'd love to know what your thoughts are on the album. But that's it from me for now.